Are we? Am I live again? I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know what the hell is happening, man. It's funny and it's funny and annoying at the same time, to be very honest with you. What I wanted to do. Yeah, okay. Give me a second here. Let's get back to it. Let's get back to it. I need to take a look at those settings. Lo-fi Halloween music. Halloween music. First. All right, we're back. Whatever. Okay. Are we good? We're good, right? Okay, perfect. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay. So going back to this, and we need obviously we need to write some code as well. That would be super nice. That would be super nice. All right. So drop down. Yeah. So what I wanted to go, yeah, the main text there. Do I have any drop down components? Drop down. Mentions drop down. No. All right. So let's see. Tailwind drop down. Actually, there's a React drop down or React select. Isn't there like a React select, right? That's like the most popular. Yeah, simple drop down component inspired by React select. Yeah. But there's also this fella, which is kind of the most popular, right? So we could no, yeah. Actually, never mind. I think we're good. Actually. No. Wait, this is our API. I think we have the select, right? Yeah, select. Yep. So let's use that. Yeah, sure. So if I go back here, let's use, so we have to kind of build this on our own right now. So let's use select. Yep. And how am I actually using select in other places? Let me see. So let me kind of copy this maybe. And let me slam it over here. On change, let's just pass it here. Item. And let's print that item. All right. So I just want to kind of show something there. Yeah, so here's our input, right? So we can see that it's kind of showing, right? Now I guess there's that open thing, right? So I guess here we can say, let's see. The music is a bit kind of depressing, isn't it? Let me change this. You mean Vue.js? Vue.js is a JavaScript framework, right? Written by Ivan Yu. I met that guy in Paris on a .js conference a couple of years ago. Very nice guy. Vue.js is awesome. Honestly, it's probably the best or the coolest JS framework out there. It's a really nice tool. So if props open, return, I guess. Okay, now this is going to be kind of interesting, right? So how do we... And then here are our suggestions, right? So those should be the options, right? So essentially here we should be saying props.suggestions .map then we should be saying say suggestion, and then we want to return actually let's see. Sure, okay, let's just say oops, let's just say suggestion dot name. So we can just come here and say name and then name, right? Hopefully. But how do we kind of trigger it now? So let's not do this yet, maybe just for a tiny fraction more. Yeah, it didn't actually like that, did it? Yeah, okay, so here it is, right? So we're kind of slowly doing it. And we'll probably want to hide a bunch of this stuff. I don't know if we'll be wanting to show the actual select like this when you're trying to tag something, right? And then we probably can see the... Let's take a look at it. Yeah, so we do get the item back. This should be called mention, right? And then actually what I want to do here, let me just call this suggestion. Then here we're gonna have suggestion dot name, and then no, actually as the value I want to pass the whole object back, and as the label I want to say suggestion dot name. Yeah, okay, here it is. Yep, great, okay, so that's good. We don't need this label. Let me actually see what happens if I nuke this whole thing as well. Okay, let's kind of try here with the class name. Let's try to remove the border and stuff. So border 0. I don't actually know. Let's see, select. How am I passing the class name? Or am I passing it at all? I am not, okay. Okay, so let's come here. Let's say class names. Let's import the class names module. Let's pass this as a base class, and then let's extend it with a props.class name. This is the container. Let's see. No, never mind. That's not gonna do, because this is using this is basically this React select, and it's using style components. So that's not gonna do. Actually, it's pointless because here are the styles for this. So yeah, so let's forget about this. Let's just kind of learn this, learn how to do this, and then we're gonna fiddle with the styles. That's easy. Mentions drop down. Yeah, so this is the thing we're doing. Okay, callbacks theme. Yeah. So let's kind of go over here. Let's see what we got. And let's actually also go to, let me close this stuff. Close that, close that. So let's see, what do we have and how do we trigger it? Mention prefix, yeah. On add mention. On change. The thing is, the only thing that I don't get is like why doesn't it trigger now when I press the actual hash key, right? Okay, let's say draft.js plugins, mention. Mention suggestions, yeah, over here. Yeah, mention suggested component to be used. Yeah. Doesn't really say, does it, right? Oh, I guess, yeah, sure. Yeah, that's why, of course. We have this on open change, right? And then, so we have those callbacks that we probably have to call somehow. Let's see. Open search. Open change, yeah. Unregister, set reference element. Set it, so we have some of those, yeah. Let's see if there's an actual example somewhere. Let's see if there's something. Okay, here it is. Let's see. Let's try something else. Oh. But I feel that there might be a bit more to do here than I actually thought. React Native. No. Oh man, okay, that's not good. Yeah, this is literally our problem, yeah. Yeah. And there's no response to this, so that's also pretty horrible. Easy that. Yeah, let's just ask. Let's maybe also open an issue. Well, let's see. We've asked the question, so we might get an answer. Good evening, Dragon. How are you doing, man? Haven't seen you in a couple of days. Good, man. Good. Just hacking away, kind of doing the draft.js stuff now. So a bit, yeah, a bit fun, but a bit different, right? Figuring out some of the stuff now. I need to kind of modify the plugin of it and change the behavior. Jason, thank you very much for the follow, man. But pretty good, man. Pretty good. Just kind of, yeah, it seems, I'm not quite sure if we're gonna be able to kind of change this as easy as I thought, because apparently based on that GitHub thread, it seems that we would need to kind of do a lot more than just like I thought, right? That the thing is what we're trying to do here, Dragon, is like I'm trying to implement like a custom mention component right here for this thing. So when I press hashtag, right, I get my own kind of drop down, right? Hey Jason, how you doing, man? Thank you very much for following and watching, man. So that's kind of the thing, right? And it doesn't seem that it's gonna be like, and they don't really have an example of this, so I mean, it's okay. Maybe I'll just need to read the source code and stuff, but it's not gonna be as simple as I thought, right? So maybe we can actually try go and let's kind of see how they did it. That's the thing when you're building stuff like this, like social platform like this, you just need to. Good evening, Sirma. How are you doing, my friend? You just have to get used to the fact that good man, good. Didn't sleep much. My son had a ear infection last night, so it's been pretty long night. Woke up at 3 a.m. Jason, to be very frank with you, man, and I've never really attended any of those certificates because I don't think that there's some certificates that I would suggest, like for example, if you're doing DevOps, if you want to do like infrastructure, like Google Cloud Store, Google Cloud Platform, AWS, Amazon Web Services and stuff like that. Google, for example, has official courses for this, and they acknowledge it. So if you, for example, go into the Google Cloud Platform path to be like a DevOps engineer, which is also a lot of DevOps engineers are really also paid and required a lot today, that would be stuff. Cisco, for example, if you want to be a networking engineer, Cisco is always a safe bet because you would go to a standard, like a standardized Cisco Academy and stuff and get the actual certificate from Cisco themselves, from the company. So if you want to know if a certificate itself means anything, if it's valuable in any way, you have to ensure that the certificate that's issued is issued by the actual organization of that specific technology, right? For example, you have what is it called? There's few more which I could suggest. I don't think I can think of it on top of my mind, but this is how, right? Everything else is really something that you can do yourself. So if you go to some random place that's telling you, hey, right? Thanks for the sub, Jason. For Java as well, you don't really need certificate, right? For programming, for Oracle, yeah. Or for example, I mean, I hate Oracle deeply from my heart, right? But I know several people, maybe. Let me think about it. I know two or three persons who are like Oracle database professionals, and Oracle literally is a database is made, so they made you dependent on them, and then they milk the hell of a lot of money from you, right? So, but either way, like if you want to be a software engineer, you don't need any certificates, right? Your best certificate is going to be having projects on your GitHub or somewhere deployed, you know, being able to pass technical interviews and stuff. So this is your best certificate. In the programming industry itself, certificate isn't gonna open any doors for you. Maybe only you're gonna get a chance for an interview maybe more than someone else, but I don't think so. So if you want to be a software engineer, those certificates are not going to help you, right? Unless you are, I don't know, Pascal certified Pascal developer maintaining Dell machines written in 1995 or something like that, then maybe. But Java and modern languages and higher level languages and stuff, certificate is not going to help you, right? So remember that. Why is it not going to help you? Not even certificate, even your even your university diploma is not going to help you, because if you can't pass the interview stages, the papers the papers that you have can just help you to get an opportunity to talk to some company. So basically, and that's where it stops. So you get to the point, you get to that interview. Now, are you going to get a job or not? Primarily depends how prepared you are to pass the stages of that interview. If you can't pass the stages, you can have 7,000 certificates. They have very, very, very little value, right? Governments, of course, listen, governments, public institutions, they have different rules, and trust me, you don't want to work there. I worked at the Technical University of Denmark, at DTU. It's the one of the biggest technical universities in whole Europe, and that I just went there because I never worked in public institutions, so I said, well, let me give it a shot, and let me not say much, but overall, you don't want to work in public sector as a software engineer, right? Sure. For governments and stuff, yes. If you want to work in a government, yes, you do need formal education. If you don't want to work for the government, you don't need any education actually in this industry at all. You just need to learn how to write code. That's the reality. That's the reality. So if you want to kind of get yourself to the market fast, I would say build things, but try to enjoy the process, right? I feel that while I understand, we've been all at that place in one way or the other, try to enjoy the path, right? Try not to think, oh, I have to build those apps now because I must have them to get a job. Try to build them because that's the profession that you chose, and you should really enjoy it, right? Because if you don't end up enjoying your own projects, of your own creation, of your own imagination, then there's no chance you're going to be enjoying someone else's projects just because you're paid, right? So yeah, I think that's really important to kind of to be wary of, right? I'm just gonna read a bit of source code of this plugin, right? Because it seems that it seems unfortunately that we don't we'll just need, right? Our use case with this network are just in some specific places just higher than generic functionalities that some of those libraries offer. So it's kind of, I hate when it happens, but so let's actually see how they implement this thing natively. All right. Oh my sweet God. Yeah, not looking good. Not looking good. Nah, not looking good. No. Okay. No. Oh my God, no. Not good, guys. Not looking good at all here. The thing is, right, so just let me elaborate what I mean, right? So they've provided this prop, right? They've provided this custom prop. So when I come here and I press hash table, they would be like, yeah, you can now render your own thing whatsoever. They didn't provide just the component, but you have to rewrite this whole logic of their own, which is this whole thing, just in order to have your custom component shown, right? I just have a hard, I mean, this is a big project, right? Maybe I need 2 or 3 streams to do this, because this is alternatively, of course, let me take a look at this. Alternatively, which I feel that is probably the only reasonable, I think not one off, but the only reasonable solution would be to copy paste this whole thing, turn it into a hook, just a function. Yep. So we basically, I think that the solution is copy paste this whole thing, rewrite it as a hook, as a function, right? Because the thing is, we need like a whole week to write this, probably. Why am I saying that? Why am I so pessimistic? If we would write it from scratch, is because, right, there's a lot of, I mean, whoever wrote this, it took time. Because look at this, right? You have like a bunch of keyboard stuff. If you press this, do that. If you know, so there's a lot of stuff here that has been written, right? Yeah. But that's what it is, right? That's how it is, and that's what it is, and I'm fine with that, right? We'll have to do this. I'll just need to create a task. That's how it is. I'm not gonna do it now. There's absolutely no chance, but we must do it. Good thing, of course. Good thing, of course, about it is that we're doing this for the whole project. So from now on, whenever we need hashtags, mentions, whatever, we have it. So again, I never observe it as a singular use case, because if it was, if this was truly just a singular use case for this, I wouldn't even do it. To provide the mention plugin with a custom dropdown, we essentially have to rewrite the whole logic contained inside the mention suggestions. The best approach forward is to copy paste the existing code, turn it into a function component, and then change the UI. Not gonna do this now again, of course, but that's what it is, right? That's what it is. Not end of the world, right? I mean, but this is pretty horrible, right? Let's face it. If they at least put some effort in. Now, alternatively, there is actually an alternative. There is one. We could fork this library. So we could fork it, and I could simply change this thing, right? Because we can easily update this, right? We can see what this entry is, right? Entry component, so we could kind of fiddle just with the style of it, because the style is what we right, what we need to change, right? So alternatively, we can also do that, right? So let's kind of write that into our card. We could fork the plugins library and update the dropdown inside the fork without touching too much logic. I think this is also very reasonable, potentially even more reasonable than this, Now the downside of this is that, I mean, the downside of, there isn't really a downside, right? The only downside would be that we would have to keep the fork updated with the master. So every now and then we would have to rebase and stuff and make sure that we kind of get the free updates because it's open source. But to an other extent, right, I believe if you're, some of you were part of the stream when I installed this plugin, I said, I know that we will have to change some of this eventually because there's no chance that it's going to provide us with functionality that we need always, right? Like we already wrote this comparison stuff and right? Yeah. Yeah, so there's two alternatives. Either copy that file, rewrite it, or do a fork, change the package.json path to our own fork, right? Which is also very much reasonable as well, right? Because in a way, I mean, I think I'm gonna round up soon, right? Because I started, but the objective was basically I mean, there's, right, we've created a bunch of, the thing is, right, we're now dealing with this editor and this view, right? And again, the functionalities that we're building now, right, while we are looking at the feed, it's not really about the feed, right? We are now indeed looking at the feed view, but all of those features, we're actually building them because there's going to be tags, most likely, well, articles are already, you create them by tags, but there's going to be mentioning people, tagging people, stuff like that, and all of that is going to be achieved through the very same component, right? So yeah, let me just kind of, while I'm here, let me just fix this annoying thing, right? So let me go to feed, right, just so this doesn't fail, and let's go to articles tab right here. And let me go then to thoughts tab. Let me see, what did I do here? Yeah. Let me just see. So let me just kind of do the same that I did there. And then if I go back here, right? This is pretty much what we need. And then we need the, shouldn't have done that. Let's redo this quickly. Let's do this, right? Let's put this fella over here. Let's do this, right? Let's do that. Let's do that. Seriously, like, come on. Article, yeah. We don't need the mutate here for now. And let's say import use infinite articles, right? And this should kind of fix that view. I just wanted to make sure. I hope so, at least. Yeah, okay, very good. Just to kind of, so, because it was just randomly broken. All right. Yeah. So let's put this beneath. This is, let's just say that this is, let me do one thing. I don't remember where it was. Maybe it's here. Yeah. Yeah, this is what I wanted. Yeah. right, cool. Let's just set that to large. Okay. I think now what we can do easily is we can implement this, right? So let's kind of do that, right? So let's go to our API. Let's close this up. Let's go to messages. I think it's called destroy, I think. Destroy. Yep. So let's find something. Yeah, pretty much we need something like this. Yeah. So let's get over here. Let's get over here. Let's delete. Let's call it just message because we'll have to rename this eventually, all of it. Delete message by ID. This is going to be message ID. We don't have the comments now, so I'll just comment it out, right? Let's export that. Let me just find my schema for this. So it's this, right? And also this post should be kind of delete or remove, but it doesn't matter, right? Let's go back basically to the actual router here now. Let's do this. Let's say message ID, message controller, delete message by ID. This is our schema. Go once more user, message ID, good. Yes, yes, yes. Let's take a look at our Postgres tables here. Hey, MR Chicken, good to see you here, man. So my API is written in Fastify, right? And Fastify comes with JSON's AJV, a library called AJV, and that's a JSON schema library, right? So if you take a look at my endpoints, right, you'll notice that there's very little validation inside of the controllers because every endpoint has different types of schemas. So you can have a response schema, you can have a request schema, you can have URL parameter schema, you can have the query schema, right? What you get out of this with Fastify, amongst many other things, is, for example, you get the Swagger as the first-class citizen, because all of your endpoints are defined by JSON schema, which can be then transformed into valid Swagger spec. You can see that my whole Express is, I used Express for almost a decade, but Express is, I wouldn't say redundant, don't take me wrong. Okay, I would lie if I would say there is nothing wrong with Express, there is. And the only wrong thing about Express is just that it's old and no longer competitive with some of those. Also, if you take a look at the benchmarks between, just basic benchmarks of the HTTP client between Fastify and Express, for example, you're going to see a huge difference just in performance itself, right? Another problem with Express is that it's very unopinionated, which isn't really a problem. Like you create an Express app and then you install the middleware that you want, la la la. The problem with that oftentimes is that too many times you end up writing the same stuff, right? So Fastify itself comes with some opinions, but in my opinion, it comes with very good opinions. Like it comes with a very good logging system, it comes with AJV, it comes with a lot of stuff that you always need. There's never going to be a time ever in your API that you will not need to do error handling, that you will not need logging, that you will not need validation, that you will not need, you know, hooks or middleware and stuff. So this sort of stuff kind of is redundant not to be part anymore of those frameworks, right? Please, yeah, absolutely do, man. You're not gonna regret it. It's absolutely amazing. It's absolutely amazing. It's really awesome. And the team behind it is really good, very competent team of people who are part of the Node.js committee and stuff. So you will not regret it for sure. Yeah, I hope that helps, man. Cool. So let's kind of implement this. So now we have an endpoint, right? Let's fiddle with it a bit. Let's go to the standard client here. Let's go to collections, messages. Let's create a new one. Thank you very much for the following, man. I appreciate it. I hope to see you around. Actually, I'm streaming pretty much almost every evening after the family stuff and work stuff. So come by whenever you're around. Delete message by ID. And actually, let's kind of follow some HTTP, let's say, constraints or rules, right? Taze, also, thank you very much. Yeah, I think that you're gonna probably get a notification when I stream. So whenever you get absolutely nothing else better to do, pass by, man. We have a very nice community that we built here. I feel that people feel like friends and everyone is helping each other. So come by but please don't be bothered by it. If you wanna be notified, I just posted that Discord. Otherwise, just discard it and enjoy. Don't bother. So what I wanted to do now is I just want to change one thing. So instead of post, let's say delete, right? Just to kind of be a bit accurate with which HTTP words we're using here. So that's fine, right? The thing is, I'm pretty sure that the reason why I didn't use the delete is because we actually send the reCAPTCHA response, because I'm using Google reCAPTCHA. So actually, let's stay with the post. It's primarily because generally it's not very common that you send you know, a body with a delete request, right? You usually send an ID or some identifier because that's usually what you delete by, right? So let's kind of not bother with that now. So that's good, that's fine. Let's now test it here in our, so I think we've just created a, so let's say post, and then the URL is gonna be, let's copy, I guess this stuff is gonna be API v1 messages, and then it's gonna be a message ID, right? So actually, probably my session here, it has expired. Let's see in the headers. Yeah, I don't have it. Let me actually see, get messages by user tags. Actually, did I get it? Yeah, I think I did, sure. I think I did get them. Let's see here, let's close this, yeah. That is strange, let's double check that. Oh, maybe I'm not actually protecting those endpoints. Let's take a look, yeah. And that's a massive problem, okay. That's, no, so I'm protecting this one. So deleting, of course, is under authentication, creating as well, get messages by user tags. And this shouldn't be protected, right? So you shouldn't need to be logged in to read tweets. Just for those of you who are new, basically I'm implementing the feed in our network, which is one of the latest features before we go live with the MVP. And messages we just call thoughts. We are not calling them tweets, we're calling them. So get user. No, but no, this, yeah, no. So this is your own feed, and this has to be under the, we actually have to be authenticated because I query this by your own account ID, etc., etc. So no, that's all of that is actually fine. So going to the standard client over here, right? Let's kind of do this again, and let's find an item with some ID. So let's say ID 50, and then let's try to delete it. Internal server body must be object, okay, and most likely because the endpoint that we just wrote expects the body, right? And it expects this reCAPTCHA, right? It expects this reCAPTCHA, right? So let's just for a fraction of a second comment that out, just to test it, and then we're gonna do it from the front end anyway, and my front end does send the reCAPTCHA, Google reCAPTCHA stuff, right? So let's try that again, and apparently we did remove it. So let's kind of let's kind of do the get messages again. We still do have an item though with an ID of 50, so I somehow doubt that we did. Let's see, 49. And let's actually check the table here of our messages. Let's check the fields of our messages table. So we have user ID, author ID, and ID. Okay, and how did we implement the endpoint? Yeah. Yeah, no. But this now, let's actually take a look at our controller here. Sorry, at our router. No, actually, it's fine. It's okay. So properties, message ID, yes. Oh, because we are removing, we're calling the wrong table. Okay, so this should be messages or message actually. Yeah, that's why. Cool. Let's try that again. So let's get them first. Let's get few of them. ID 50. Let's try to remove that. 45. Yeah, I don't think that it did remove it, did it? Let's take a look again. What's happening with your modem? You're still having internet problems, Hanulak. Sorry, Heisenballs. Hey man, good to see you. You're having internet issues. Sorry to hear that, man. I know how frustrating that can be. Okay, so the only thing I can assume is that yeah, so it's actually, so what's strange here is that I'm not actually getting I shouldn't even be hitting this, I believe. Did I protect this delete? How is this pre-validation kind of passing if I don't actually have a session token passed? I do have it, okay. But I have it here, right? But I don't have it here, so how is it actually managing to let's actually maybe, I mean, it would be actually nice if we found a bug or something. Damn, man, okay. Yeah, man, like in today's time, it's super frustrating when the internet doesn't work. I completely feel you, man. Like, yeah. No content, okay, because we are getting 204, right? Which means that we are kind of getting here, right? So let's just respond with 200. Or am I looking at the wrong? Maybe I'm looking at the wrong ID. Yeah, so we are getting there. So let's see. Maybe I'm just looking at the. No, I don't think so. Those are the ID content. Yeah, upvotes, author, tags. Yeah, so we're not actually. So maybe my query just isn't finding it, right? I know. Obviously, this is not going to happen. The thing is, I'm trying to remove an item by some ID and some author, right? And we never find it because I'm not the author. So it's going to fail, right? I think. let's double check that. So let's actually go and let's go over here and see. I think my account ID is 1, because I think my account is the, yeah, so it's 1. Okay, and then let's search for message tags. So let's see. Let's see, 50. Let's see, where's number 50? Where are you, 50? 50, 50, 50. Oh, here it is, right? So number 50 belongs to an author with an ID of 5, right? So I think that is the problem, right? So let's find something that, so it's, I mean, it's fine, everything works. So let's say this one belongs to me, and this one is number 8. So let's try to nuke that one, right? So let's say 8. Let's kind of also, yeah, never mind. Right? And now if we actually come here, yeah, so there's no 8, I guess. Well, not really. Yep. So I guess we did nuke it. So anyway, the point is all good. It's a simple query, the most simplest one. And let's just see if there's what? Is it still here? Or maybe, is this an old one that we ran? Yeah, I think we're good. Yep, we are. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're good. So that's great. That's fine, right? Okay. Yeah, all right. So now let's go to the UI, right, and implement this. Should be fairly simple, right? Let's go to our front end. And no, this is some external library that we've been reading the source code off. So let's go over here, and we're not going to be kind of putting this in Redux toolkit anymore, because it's kind of localized to this place right here. So actually what we're going to do, we're going to go here, and we're going to just have a basic HTTP call from here, and that's more than good enough, right? Not going to be complicating putting it in a global state or any stuff like that, because that doesn't belong there, especially such a short span, short-term state such as that, right? So let's say here, let's just create basic state that we know that we're gonna need. So const is deleting or is removing, set is removing, then use state, it's gonna be false, right? And then we're gonna need a use effect here. Well, not really, let's just say, let's say request. Let's just try to import my own service that I wrote here. Let's go down here, yeah. And then we're gonna put that in some, so we're gonna say request.post. We're gonna say slash, I guess, slash API slash one slash messages, and then it's gonna have some message ID, right? Let's turn this into a template literal, right? And then let's turn this into a function, right? Let's call this const handle delete. Let's make this async, right? Because we have an HTTP call inside. And then let's do this. We can use a promise API if necessary as well, but no need. And then let's say here, const. We're not waiting for any data. We're not really like expecting anything back. If this successfully succeeds, great sentence. But if this successfully succeeds, then it's gonna work. I like that sentence. If it successfully succeeds. I actually think that I am the only one who ever said that. Okay. And then, so of course we're gonna need some other information here. Like I shouldn't be able to remove someone else's stuff. So I will need to, I should only be able to remove my own stuff. And then also the question is, should I even be able to see my own tweets here? I think I should, yes. Cool. So let's now, just for fun, where is it? So we have author, we have props. So I guess we're gonna have the ID. Let's call it message ID. Just ID is too generic, right? Which ID? ID of what? Is it user ID? Is it whatever? And let me actually take a look at the existing stuff that we have. Let's go to some article. Let me add a comment. How do I delete a comment? What is this icon? Where is this? Let me find something that I can reference. So let me search for this. Yep. So it's delete bin 2. Let me actually grab this whole fella here. And I'm just gonna put this somewhere, right? Let me take a look at how my feed looks like here. So I have a avatar, this stuff. So kind of feels right to put it somewhere in the top, like in the top right corner here, whatever. Cool. Let's do that. Yeah. Let's put it somewhere here. Doesn't matter. Let's not lose our sleep over it. Let's say edit alt. I guess that's the one. Delete bin 2. And then for this one, we're not gonna have any handler because we didn't implement editing yet. And then we're not gonna implement any like model now or anything. So let's just literally what we're gonna do here. We're gonna have this lambda function as well, and then we're gonna call handle delete. And then we're gonna say just message ID, right? And of course we're missing now stuff. You shouldn't be seeing this on all of them because it's not gonna work either, because you're not gonna be able to delete someone else's stuff anyway, right? So let me find some of the ones that I wrote, if there's any here on this list. Okay, well, not very useful, is it? All right, here's some, let's see, and then we're gonna style that la. So let's take a look at the network tab in case we did everything right. And probably the endpoint is wrong, that's why it's returning API v1. Yeah, we're missing s at messages, right? To try that again. Okay, so we can see that it returned 200, even though, let's go to our API, we forgot to put it back to 204, because that would be the accurate HTTP response for this type of operation, right? Cool. Okay, so let's go back again and start my own stuff. This is just a bunch of data that I generated. Here it is. Bam. 9. 204. Obviously, we now have to update the UI and all sorts of stuff like that, but that's a different thing. 6. Yeah. All right. Cool. So that's one portion of the deletion right now. Obviously, when we do delete successfully, and let's put this in a try catch, because this can fail, and We don't want it to explode. Let's just say here to do handle error. So basically several things. We're gonna set the state to be removing. So let's say here's set is removing to true. Then when it actually removes successfully, we're gonna set it to false. And then we're gonna set it to false here again, right? Pretty simple stuff. If it fails, we wanna say, hey, it's no longer removing, of course. We wanna have cover that. Now, now there's a high probability here that, so the biggest now problem that we're gonna have here is that this list, actually I don't think we're gonna be having any problems, but let's see. We'll need to now, we are using this use SVR, so we'll need to update that list. Yeah. So once you kind of remove it, we have to re-render this list, right? Or get rid of that item that was removed. All right, cool. But before we do that, let's... Yeah, so okay, this is the stuff that we just added, right? Those icons. Let's see why they're so far apart from each other. Ah, okay, got it. Sure. Because we put it as such. Let's see, how did we compose this flex thing? All right, got it. Sure. Okay, so that's quite strange, actually. I thought that we did. Yeah, never mind. So let's kind of do this div. That's better, right? Can we do like self end or something? Justify self. No, this would be justifying. I think, let's see, justify self end. No. Okay, not really. And let's see, where do we want those guys to be? Okay. Yeah. But yeah, which we're not gonna. So basically, we need to kind of just change the layout a bit, right? So essentially, yeah. So yeah, okay. So let's get this fella here. Let's put it here, and then let's put this fella in another div. Ah, shouldn't have saved. Edit alt, delete bin 2. Those are all temporary icons. All right, and then now this guy. So here now we can control this fella to also be flat, but then justify between to push one thing all the way to the left, another thing to the right, something like this, right? And then here we can say item center to kind of to also center them both horizontally. Well, yeah, something like this. Yeah, right. Is that perfect? Probably not. Is it gonna remain there forever? It will not. but it's a good start. So that's what it is. Okay. Cool. Okay. And now, of course, one more thing. Yeah. So I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna grab this fella. Grab that fella. I'm gonna go over here. And once you click delete, I want to show the spinner instead of that button itself, right? So here we're gonna say, you know, if it's not removing, show remove, right? But then if it is removing, show the spinner itself, rotate spinner, right? Do I actually have it? Yeah, that's cool, okay. So, and obviously we wanna kinda make that smaller, but yeah, so let's kind of do that. Let's play with it a bit. And of course now we can see that it kind of differs in size and stuff, right? So it kind of jumps a bit, so we'll have to be a bit careful about that. Let's see why is that the case. And then we can also make it let me go tailwind color palette, because it's taking a hash color, right? So let's just say 600, I guess. Yeah, something like that. Maybe, I don't know. Not gonna lose my sleep over it. Maybe slightly lighter, maybe 400, just so it's yeah, maybe more apparent. But I think and my son is calling me. I think I'm gonna go very soon. I wanna play with him a bit, but I think we're kind of doing okay. Okay, and let's just maybe, okay, I'm not quite sure if this is taking a class name. I'm just gonna try something crazy. I'm not sure. No, it's not. Okay, so what I'm gonna do instead then, because it's not, I'm gonna wrap it in a span, and then I'm gonna control the span. And actually, before I do any relative stuff, let's just see why is it not, why is it yeah, it's kind of, I don't actually know why there's a jump, but whatever. Where's my spinner? Let me zoom into oblivion. All right, yeah, my son is calling me. Okay, let's see. So yeah, something kind of like that, I think. Yeah. All right, cool. And before we round up for today, what I'm actually going to do here is so essentially we only want to be showing this stuff if you're the author. So you cannot be if you are the author of that specific thing that you're deleting, right? So that being said, we can subscribe to some global state. Good evening, Dirkoning. Good to see you here, man. How is everything going? So what I'm gonna do is let's maybe do that now. Where is it? Articles now. I'm building a social blogging, social sharing platform for software developers. Basically, think of it a combination of several different platforms into one, like Twitter and I don't know, Medium, you know, and stuff like that. So it's just a very specific experience for software engineers, right? Just to give you basically a context, because you're here for the first time, and basically it's going to be hosted here on programmer.network, right? And then I believe we have a pretty awesome, pretty badass community here. So if this is something that you, if you're a software engineer and if you would like to help us build this and test it, soon we're going to be releasing the MVP, you know, welcome to help out. If not, if you just want to learn programming or whatever, I'm not saying you are, just stick around and ask anything you really would like to ask. Okay, so going back here, right, what we want to do now, so let's ask this question. So essentially I need to be the author of this in order to, thank you very much for the follow there, Conning, appreciate it. I hope to see you. I'm streaming almost every night if the day at work and family is not too long, so stick around. I think you're gonna meet a lot of nice people here. So yeah, so let's do that. So essentially we have the author here, and we can easily, so essentially what we can do, but so what we can try doing, we can subscribe to the global state using the use selector, right? So let's kind of do that. Let me just find the path to comments maybe here. Yeah, so it's gonna be, yeah, pretty much, yeah. Team. Yeah, over here, right? So this is kind of what we can do, right? Pretty much. And we're gonna do it here, right? Just gonna say, you know, use selector, because we have our Redux store, right? We're keeping our global state there. We don't really need any of that. We just need the authenticated user. And why do we need it? Well, we need it because we want to basically have a logic, like if it's the author, then, you know. So what we can do, we also have the author from the actual tweet or message you call it, right? So what we can do here, we can just say const is thought author, and then it's going to be authenticated user, right? .id is equal to author.id, right? Something like that. Let's I'm not quite sure if we nailed it in the first attempt. Maybe we did, maybe we didn't. If we didn't, we'll fix it. So very less likely this is true, because there are actually maybe not, right? Let's see, am I, yeah. So there is actually a chance that this is true, because maybe there's just a few of those first, because I have pagination implemented here. So let's kind of keep scrolling, maybe, yeah, so you can see actually it is true, right? There's only 7 articles, 7 thoughts or tweets written by me, so that's why, right? Okay, fair enough. So the logic is fine, so we did write it well. And now lastly, we just want to use it, right? So essentially we basically don't want to show this at all. Let's actually, kind of also feels wrong having this as a span. Let's make it a div, right? And then let's just have an expression here. So if it's an author, then you can edit and delete. If not, you can't, right? And now there's a potential UI glitch that what the heck? We need to go. Never mind. Okay, sure. So this is where the actual file starts, and it feels that this is where it ends, right? Yeah, that way. Okay. So you can see now we can't see those options anymore, but I think we're gonna have one UI glitch once we get to the ones that I kind of wrote. Where am I, Alexander? No, actually we're good, right? We're good, yeah. So basically, yeah, those are the ones that I wrote. Even though we didn't implement that yet, let's try to just get rid of all of them. We're not removing them yet from this SVR list that we're getting, but let's try to remove like all except one. Let's actually see if I'm even doing that or not. And yeah, as you can see, there's only one left, right? So we kind of did solid, and then this is kind of my little component when you reach the end, when there's nothing more to paginate, right? So that's pretty cool, right? It is. All right. And then last thing with this specific tiny task, so we're doing now this is to remove it from this SVR list. But I think I'm gonna do that tomorrow. I've been streaming for a couple of hours now, so I think it's fine. So let me just switch to this. So that's it for today, guys. I think it's been a nice one. Bunch of new followers and people around. That's very nice to see always. If you liked it, if you learned something new, give us a follow. Also, don't forget to go to programmer.network and sign up if you want to be one of the first ones on the platform. And yeah, if you want to learn about programming in general and stuff, even though if you don't care about the platform, come by, pass by, let's have a chat. And I'm here pretty much almost every night. Until then, have a good night.